Oh, that's fine. Walking at 593.
Good morning. It's Friday, which means it's time for French Friday. Today I'm going to be showing you some free and or really cheap stuff you can do in Paris, because Paris, of course, is notoriously not cheap. Although, you dress like this, it's more fun, that's for sure. But there are a lot of things you can do for free around here, or at least for cheap. Obviously, the cost of transportation and feeding yourself, I can't help you with. But I can help you with some ideas of what to do with your time while you're here. And thing number one is going to be go see giant monuments that you can see and nobody can charge you to see. Eiffel Tower and the Champ de Mars behind it. You have Les Invalides, you have the Pantheon. You have a lot of really tall, pretty structures you can go look at from the outside and be like, not all of them are free to go into, like Les Invalides or Les Invalides. I always mispronounce it because I'm mixing languages, but Les Invalides is not free to go into, but super worth it. There are a lot of things like that. But to go walk around it, get some photos of it, is absolutely free and highly recommended. I'll leave links to a lot of different random things that I'm mentioning below, so you can go ahead and check those out. You can find them on Google Maps. The other thing that's really nice to do, wow, this is really slippery. It's snowy. Now, assuming that you come when it's a little bit warmer, I mean, if you're brave, you can enjoy the parks. There are a lot of amazing parks around the city. Some are big, some are small. Some have benches like this with fantastic views. Some of them have benches with crappy views, but are still quiet and enjoyable. Not only can you sit, but if you're willing to spend a little bit of money on food, that necessary thing that you should be spending money on anyways because you're human, you can just sit back, relax, have a picnic, and enjoy the styling of French gardens. But it's freezing and I don't want to do this. This is not my thing right now. There are always scavenger hunts to be had. Like, how many awkward naked statues can you find in a day? You can see how many Space Invaders you can find. And of course the app for that is free. Flash Invaders, linked below. And one of my favorites, one of the more difficult ones, how many Statues of Liberty can you find? The metro is not free, but it is cheap. It's only €1.90 per trip. And if you buy multiple tickets, like a packet of 10, you get a discount. And the weekly passes, if you get them on a Monday, really good. Like, really, that's where the real deal is at. I have links to how to use the metro and stuff. You can check that out. But for the moment, I actually need to use the metro. Enjoy some music in the metro. I didn't have any cash on me though, that's the thing, that's not free either. Well, it could be free, enjoying it's free, but I wanted to film them in since I don't have any change. I didn't want to, but they're really fun, they're a really cool band. There's like 8 dudes, all with instruments. Also, exercise in the metro is free. If you want to catch a train that pulls in before you can get to it. You gotta run sometime, and when it's snowy outside, you're not gonna do it outside. Now, like I said, there are a lot of beautiful buildings in the city. Free to hang out outside of Hotel de Ville. I mean, it's also free to go inside the post office that's in here, but this outdoor area I'm walking through, when it's warmer, often has exhibitions, different events, performers. So it's a fun spot to come and you can just be here for free, as well as other things like Moulin Rouge. You can get a photo in front of Moulin Rouge for free, or the Arc de Triomphe is free to walk around as well. Now, while the Arc de Triomphe is not free to go up to the top, it is free to walk around it all day. You can even go out underneath it, and then just hang out over there. Speaking of free monuments to walk around in, the Louvre, you could walk around here for hours. This place is huge. Even if they're not free to go up or in, at least they're free to look at and get your photos. And getting photos is always a good way to spend some time. Also, these toilets are free. Doesn't mean you really want to go in one. Have you ever seen inside one of these things before? Yeah, you get what you pay for. Also be careful, because if somebody's in there and they walk out, let the door close. It's gonna go through a cleaning cycle and then open and then go in. Because if you go in during the cleaning cycle, good chance you end up with wet ankles. I've seen it happen. Not pretty. Now, while there are a bunch of monuments and buildings that are free to look at but not free to go in, one guaranteed difference is going to be churches, like the cathedral. These guys are free all the way around, although you do have to pay to go to the top of Notre Dame, but you don't have to pay much, I don't think. Well worth it. And if there's a line here, which there is not when the weather is kind of like it is today, even if there's a line here, at most it'll be 15 minutes to get in, even if it's a really long line. Beautiful in there. You can spend a long time in there actually. Doing laps, the rose windows are gorgeous, the whole thing. Incredible. Highly recommended. Notre Dame is totally worth it. It's just a beautiful church. I think it's my favorite in the city. Of course, you have a lot of other churches like Sacré-Cœur, Saint-Sulpice. Saint-Chapelle is not free, but also worth it if you want to check that out. And St. Genevieve's Church, just to the side of the Pantheon, is also amazing. So that's a twofer right there. You can go into the Pantheon and then around to the left and into St. Genevieve's Church, then you're set. They're also right next to the Jardin de Luxembourg, or the Gardens of Luxembourg, which is a wonderful place to go sit and have lunch, provided it's not freezing cold, of course. This is not picnic weather, unless you're Canadian, in which case I'm sure this is perfect. But for the rest of us, it's too cold. Remember that ladies with these fake clipboards also scam, so be aware, be fully aware of that. Nope. Oh, wow. There's a whole bunch of them, so do be careful. They may pretend that they don't speak, they may pretend they're deaf and dumb. They're dumb, that's for sure. But do watch out. And when there's a bunch of them, very likely pickpocketing. So, this came up during my Eiffel Tower video, if you want to go up the Eiffel Tower sometime. But basically what they do is they shove clipboards in your face, try to get you to sign up for stuff that you don't understand, and then start demanding donations for something you don't understand. They're very persuasive in really awkward ways. And if there are more than one of them, watch your pockets, because it might just be distracting you to pick your pockets. So be careful. Now, one of the other things you gotta remember when you come to Notre Dame in particular is to come around behind it, because the view is equally free and incredibly gorgeous. This doubles as a park. Win-win. See? Lots of good stuff. Great building and a park. You're set. Which brings you to another point, and that's general exploration. Oh yeah. And if you want to turn this into a threefer, park, cathedral, Space Invader. There you go. Generally exploring is also free. The city is beautiful, easy to walk, wander. I mean, if you get really tired, you can always hop in the metro, which is not free, but close enough. And yeah, just walking around like this makes it nice and easy. The nice thing is you never know when you're gonna see something that you've never seen before from a distance and then go after it. Like, you might be like, what is that tower? Why is it there? How come I've never seen it from up close? Let's go find out. And that right there, my friends, costs you a whole whopping free 99. So take advantage of those moments. I love it. I love walking through this city, seeing a spire or a tower or a building like way down there and being like, what the heck? I've never seen that. What is that? And then halfway there, you spot 3 other things you want to go investigate, and before you know it, you're lost and happy. Getting lost like that is a good way to do it. Speaking of wonderful free places to have a picnic, anywhere along the river or the canal, pretty much, it's gonna be a great spot to come sit. You can sit down along the bank all the way over there as well. Grab a bottle of wine, some cheese, some meat, some bread, have a little picnic. It's wonderful. We spend a lot of time on the river when it's warmer, and no time right now because it's too cold. Always go for a stroll around the Louvre. That's free. It's huge too. It's miles long, so, well, it's folded up. But seriously, if you wanted to go from like the depths of the Louvre and the Cour Carrée over there, all the way through the Tuileries and up the Champs-Élysées, wonderful walk. Lots of beautiful architecture to look at, and 100% free. Yep. Of course, the opera is beautiful. It's like a work of art. It's free. Walk all around it, enjoy the music. So usually there are musicians hanging out in front. There aren't any today, unfortunately, but listen to some free music in front of the opera is not so bad. One more thing you can do for free in Paris is get a nice view of the city. There are actually a whole bunch of places you can go view the city for free. I made a whole video about it. Try which I will link to. But one of the most famous spots to go for a free view, even though pretty much nothing else about this place is free, Galerie Lafayette. Do try to avoid buying like an 800,000 euro watch while you're inside, but if you can dodge that, then you should be fine. Just sort of take the escalators all the way to the top. Now, one other thing you don't want to miss out on, the view of the interior of this place is also free and also very nice. Double bonus, you get an even better view of the opera from here. Well, a different view at least. Now, you can even see Sacré-Cœur from here, up on the top of the hill there, which is another spot for a really nice free view of the city. You just go up to the front of Sacré-Cœur, it's really good. But there's even a better view from the place next door called Printemps. It's just that the roof has been closed for a while. I'll still link to it, you can give it a try. But this will do in a pinch. I wasn't kidding, these watches are insanely expensive. The one that wasn't marked, I asked him, 300,000 euros for a watch. Different world altogether. Then how's that for some free stuff to do? Parks, monuments, churches, museums. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to go see actually. Dang it, there's one more thing that I've been meaning to go do that's free, that I've never done before, that I thought today would be the day, and it totally slipped my mind, and that is Victor Hugo's house. You can actually go in and see Victor Hugo's house at Place des Vosges for free when it's open, but it's closing at 6 p.m. and it's currently 5:30 p.m. And just to give you an idea for how easy it was for me to get around today, I've done all this and shown you all these things while still taking the middle portion of my day, like a good 4 or 5 hours, to get a lot of work done. I sat at the Peloton for a while and translated a script and worked on my Kickstarter and blah, 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 a bunch of other stuff. But the point is, it's really easy to get around this city. And when it's warmer, you can do a lot more walking. And you could do walking while it's cold. I don't want to. That's more my point.